hey, look, okay, I understand. All right, look, I will admit, okay, the title is a tad bit hyperbolic. All right, we're not living in the dark ages of AAA games. I actually stand by what I said last video. Like, we're kind of in a golden age of video games in general, but indie games, because of the internet and because of the platforms we have to play games on, more eyes are on indie games than ever before. There has actually never been a better time to get into video games. Video games recently have been more creative, more accessible, and more diverse than ever before. If all of the games that are scheduled to come out in 2023 come out this year and are as good as they have been shown to be, then 2023 might be the first year that rivals 2007 in terms of banger after banger after banger. But I still believe that there is a rather large weight that is holding down the AAA market from reaching its full potential. Optimization. If you don't immediately know what I'm talking about, allow me to give you some examples. Jedi Survivor, the long-awaited sequel to Respawn's Jedi Fallen Order. This game released at the end of April, and it's absolutely botched. The PC port is supposedly one of the most horrendous PC ports we have gotten in ages. With a 62% on Steam, people were not really a fan of how well this game was optimized. But if you do end up actually wanting to play this game, well, how much is it gonna set you back on your hard drive, right? You think, well, like, okay, well, at least it's 155 gigabytes? 155 gigabytes!
1.21 gigawatts.
That is an absurd amount of space that is needed for this game, but let's try another example, all right? The Last of Us Remastered for the PC. This has been a long-awaited game. This is like one of Sony's biggest selling games of all time finally coming to PC, and guess what? Yeah, they also fucked it up. 58% on Steam right now, and it is a hard-earned 100 fucking gigabytes for a game that is 10 years old. Oh my god. Okay, well, let's try another example, right? Game of the Year, Elden Ring. One of the largest and most dense, explorable worlds in the history of gaming so far. This game has got to be fucking huge on your PC. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Elden Ring is only 60 gigabytes? It's only 6. Okay. All right, well, how about Tears of the Kingdom, right? A game that is monumental, the long-awaited sequel to Breath of the Wild, a game that is coming out on hardware that was dated when the hardware was made. Well, this game's got to be huge. Come here. Come in close. 16 gigabytes. I don't know what sort of black magic Nintendo is wielding to get Tears of the Kingdom at 16 gigabytes, but do you see the difference in the games? Do you see the problem that I'm having with a lot of AAA games? A lot of them are turning out more like this than like that. And so now I'm left wondering, like, what is happening? Right? How are we getting games like Gollum, Callisto Protocol, Wild Hearts, Jedi Survivor, Last of Us for PC, like these games that are coming out botched, busted, unplayable? Like, the games are finished, but they're not playable. So what is happening? I think I have an idea, and I need to clarify. I am not a game developer. I have never been a game developer, and I don't actually know any of the intricacies that go on in game development. So this is just like my personal like theory, my own hypothesis. So please take it with a grain of salt. But AAA games cost more money and take more time to make than ever before. God of War Ragnarok, PlayStation's like big flagship PS5 seller last year, took over 5 years and a reported $200 million to produce. And so when these massive publishers have hundreds of developers, thousands of man hours, and millions of dollars on the line, they want to make their money back. Obviously, it's a business. And so when game optimization can add an extra 6 to 9 months, sometimes even a year to development, well, I think a lot of publishers are looking at that and saying, well, if the game is done, let's just ship it. We'll get our return on investment, and then we'll just start fixing and optimizing the game through patches over the next 6 to 9 months, but the game will be out. We can start making money on the game. And that's just not acceptable, right? Like when you buy a game, you want the game to run when it comes out. Otherwise, why would you release the game? It's kind of a big issue. And don't even get me started with compression. I genuinely don't think that there is a single Western publisher that gives a shit about game compression. If the game is done and the game is playable, then why waste more time and money making the game smaller? It doesn't make any financial sense, but it makes a lot of sense to my poor fucking SSD that struggles to fit 5 AAA games on release on it. That's not acceptable, right? Like, it is a 1 terabyte SSD. It should be able to fit multiple games, not just like a handful of games. Genuinely, there is zero reason that Jedi Survivor should be 155 gigabytes, man. Jedi Survivor is more than double the size of Elden Ring. I could fit 2.5 Elden Rings onto my fucking PC in the space that it takes to fit 1 Jedi Survivor. That's absurd, man. Elden Ring was fucking huge. When you play Elden Ring, you keep getting this feeling of like, oh shit. It just keeps getting bigger, and it's so dense and playable, and it doesn't have like any game-breaking issues, but Jedi Survivor is unplayable, and I need to emphasize that it is 155 gigabytes. This is what I mean when I say that we are in a dark age of AAA games. AAA publishers don't care about game optimization or game compression, and it is leading to more broken, unplayable games that just kind of spit in the face of the consumers. There have been tons of great games releasing recently, but there have been just as many broken and unplayable games on launch, and that is really starting to get to me. What? Oh, yeah, actually, Cutethlhu brings up a great point. Another piece of advice for developers. If you guys are going to announce the 6th game in your biggest franchise, I would highly recommend not announcing it 10 years before its supposed release. I'm looking at you, Todd Howard.